Hey, this is Ben King, the third stanza of The Art of Peace. And let's begin like we always do. Let's armor down with mindful meditation. So the first thing you do is tame your mind. And the way you tame your mind is with your senses. So pick any sense. Today, let's go with sight picture. But of course, you have liberty to pick whatever sense makes the most sense in the environment that you're in. So, sight picture. I'm outside right now. And so I'm just going to open my sight picture up as big as I can. So I'm not moving my eyeballs. I'm focusing on my periphery. In the military, they taught us that when moving at night, you don't look at something straight on, you look at it with the side of your eyes. And that's what I do with my daughter at night when she's falling asleep. When I check to see if her eyes are open or closed, I don't look directly at her eyes, I look across her face and I let my periphery examine whether or not her eyes are open. And believe it or not, every time I focus in on her eyes and kind of try to look right there, there's like this blank spot. When I look at my periphery, there's a little bit more recognition. It's pretty interesting. Anyway, so tame the mind with sight picture, open into periphery. So awareness sends all of your focus into your periphery. Now awareness will guide your eyes to the opposite. So what's the opposite of big? Little. So zero in on something small. Move your eyeballs. Zero in. Something small. Zoom back out again. Eyes go to the middle of your head. Open to the periphery. Now, after you've tamed your mind, train your mind into your body. Train your mind to reconnect or to simply connect to your ground, pelvis region. It's a region. Multifaceted. It's a region. Remember, the points of the body are like areas of operations. The larger theater is your body itself, but it's broken down into AOs, area of operations. What's going on right now in your pelvis? Core. What's going on in your guts? What's going on in the region of your spine that all your guts are connected to? Now, heart space. So think of where your heart is. You know where your heart is, at least you know where someone else's heart is, especially if you've been trained to shoot for center mass. Center mass, motherfucker. You've been trained for this shit. Now feel it in yourself as opposed to recognizing it at 300 meters. Just a little bit left to center mass. Just a little bit. Now see if you can feel around it. And see if you can feel your shoulder blades on your back. See if you can feel how your shoulder blades are connected to your neck. See if you can connect to your jaw. Now when you come to the top of your head, think of this as head space. Head space. I think there's an app called Headspace. But anyway, headspace includes the sensational experience of the head and thoughts. But thoughts from the perspective of energy, not thoughts I have to identify with thoughts, just there's thoughts in my head the same way there are birds chirping around me. I can choose to pay attention to them or not. And then you go to the high up perspective, the grand perspective. We had these big ass blimps over FOB Loyalty, huge blimps, huge, and they were just Overwatch. They could see the big picture, they could zoom in small. Big picture, zoom in small. So that was incredibly valuable. I mean, it didn't fucking do anything. It didn't matter. It's not like we were successful, but we had some great technology, boy. That Overwatch, God, that's a big deal. It's a big deal. Neither better or worse than anything else, but it's valuable. So, you get that Overwatch on yourself, that's the breath. So, you're taking a full breath in. You're focusing your awareness on how the body is operating at its most base level. How is your body operating at its most base level? Breath. How is your body operating at its most base level is like what drill and ceremony is supposed to be for a well-functioning military. Drill and ceremony is to the military what your breath is to your body. It's your base standard. If we're operating here smoothly, drill and ceremony is smooth, we're going to our rituals, going through our yearly trainings, boom, 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 drill and ceremony, that's nice and smooth. Same with the breath. Breath is, steady, there are elevations, there are compressions, there's moving forward, there's breathing in, there's breathing out, there's the spaces in between. Base, that's your base. You want to be able to recognize your base at the most basic level. You're interacting at this level because this is the level everything else is built upon. Your breath is what everything your body can do is built upon. See if you can take 3 rounds of breath, and make each round get a tiny bit bigger. Now, if you can pause at the top of your full breath, you might feel how big things are. Expand it. See if you can keep expanding. At any time you feel weird, breathe out, but see if you can press your edge. Breathe in, feel that bigness. Now, your body is going to bring you back into awareness by saying, breathe out, breathe out. The longer you hold it, the more your body's going to create an impulse that says, breathe out. And if you breathe out now, breathe out. And then you'll exhale, and the body will be like, man, thank you, goodness. The body won't be giving any more impulses. The body will be settling. Now, ideally, at any given moment, you're settling into non-judgmental present tense awareness. The value of settling into non-judgmental present tense awareness is that you get your biggest openness, your biggest awareness to what's happening at the present moment. Your biggest awareness of what's happening at the present moment. So, the reason you don't fixate on any one thing or another, is because you want the best, most robust, most tactically advantaged perspective of the situation. This isn't rocket science. This makes perfect sense. I mean, maybe you don't want all the information you could possibly have about any given moment, but I sure as hell do. I want to know if what I'm doing is being driven by something that I'm, like triggered by. If I'm triggered by something and I'm just off deploying all my viciousness or rage or seduction or manipulation or stubbornness, if I'm just holding that and driving that home just because that's what I do, that is not efficient. It's just flat out not efficient. It's like a car with knowing your car gets flat tires and not doing anything about it, not making an attempt to move past this slight limitation. Probably a terrible example. Anyway, think about it from the perspective of Overwatch or of a commander. Think about it in the military. Think about the brass, the fucking brass. The brass at the very, very top, is absolutely concerned with everybody's well-being before and after the military. But ultimately, in action, it's recognizing each and every part of the military as an ability to achieve a mission. So at the highest levels, we of course aren't looked at as individuals. The reason they do that is so they can manage a huge overarching perspective, strategic perspective, maybe an intention-based perspective, and they can deploy their resources in that direction. To achieve a specific mission, a goal, a posturing. It's a very, very sophisticated, high-end, decision-making process. So we are that to our body. We are the brass. Our awareness is the brass. The brass ideally doesn't get fixated on one thing or another, but can fully rely on all the resources to deploy effectively in whatever direction they want. So, the reason why mindfulness, the reason why non-judgmental present tense awareness is of value to you is that it gives you the fullest possible awareness of the fullest possible presentation of the exact moment that you're in. So check out the third stanza in the Art of Peace. All things, material and spiritual, originate from one source and are related as if they were one family. The past, present, and future are all contained in the life force. The universe emerged and developed from one source, and we evolved through the optimal process of unification and harmonization. Unification and harmonization. What a statement. So moving beyond the language, the idea of what he just articulated, or what was articulated, come into the experience of it. So he's saying beyond spiritual, beyond material, beyond any of that stuff is this one source. And then we can connect to it, we're a part of it. Now, see if you can get back into one of your senses. For me, sight picture is really interesting right now because the sun has crested a little bit, and now where there was darkness and shadow, there's much more light. And there's a tree in front of me that has leaves on a branch the shape of a square. It's a branch that is at a right angle. Well, obviously the branch broke, but it's being held up by vines, and those vines have turned a blood red. And beneath these blood red vines are leaves of orange and yellow. And surrounding that is the white skin of the birch tree. Surrounding that is different shades of green. It was colder, now it's becoming a little bit warmer. For just a moment the cars have stopped, so there's the leaves in the trees. So the one source is the present moment. Past, present, and future, as if of one family. Past, present, future, as if of one family. It's the present moment. You may be experiencing the present moment as thoughts about the past or thoughts about the future. You may be experiencing the present moment as thoughts about the past and thoughts about the future. From the perspective of awareness, that's simply just thoughts. You can choose to send your awareness into thoughts and make those thoughts become the dominant part of your experience, or you can choose to come into one of your senses, like the sense of the breeze. Left side of my face, chin, nape of the neck, space where my jacket opens at the neck. There's more room that my zipper could go up. More of my neck is exposed. If I focus in, I can feel the temperature difference between the area where the jacket covers, the area where my t-shirt covers, and then the area where my skin is exposed at my throat, if I focus in. I just chose to send my awareness into something that was happening in the present moment. Now, I will pull you out of the present moment into a brand new sound that's just going to be like, what the fuck? What? What?
Oh, wait a minute. What the fuck is he talking about? Wait a minute.
So listen here. This unification and harmonization shit, that's some bullshit. I'm telling you, harmony is bullshit. You gotta win, goddammit, you gotta win.
But you must understand that we are all one. The light within me and the light with the universe is all one family. Man, fuck that shit. One family? What is this whack-ass hippie nonsense? One family. Yo, I got my boys, I've got my crew, I've got my neighborhood, so fuck all of this. You don't know what my life is like, you don't know where I live, you don't know who I am. I'm not a part of that shit. Fuck that. If I was talking to you in 4 different voices, using 4 different narrations, could you listen? See if you can feel what's going on in the area of your feet. See if you can feel what's going on in the area of your pelvis, core, heart space, throat, top of the head. Full breath.